What only exists to piss people off? Those generic cereal bags with the resealable push zipper that when you open the bag, it rips past the zipper and now you have a hole in the bag beside the zipper. 2. Eat malt oatmeal. That tiny invisible X on game ads. And its more evil sibling, the fake X on game ads. Jeans that appear to have pockets but don't. So, like, all women's pants? Create an account to view the rest of this post. Duck off. You have 4 articles left. Automated call routers that ask you to enter your customer ID and date of birth and zip code and great grandfather's shoe size to get to the right person. Only to have that person then ask you for the same information you just entered to get to them in the first place. Robo voice. Enter your 16-digit account number. You enter as quickly as you can, then when you are 6 digits in. Robo voice. I didn't get that. Please enter your 16-digit account number. Erasers that only smudge. I have one that leaves a pink trail when I erase. That pencil is the worst. Itcher tags on clothing. Whoever started the print on tags was a genius. Mosquitoes. There's been some stuff done that alters the genes of female mosquitoes, I believe, where technically they are female, but their mouth is shaped like a male mouth. Since females are the only mosquitoes that bite, the altered ones are not able to do this and spread disease, such as malaria. Their reproductive organs are also altered so they are unable to lay eggs. The pop-up subscribe to our newsletter message on websites that cover the entire page. Or the choice between sure, send me updates, and no thanks. I'd rather decay in my skin prison and perish with no meaning and satisfaction in my life. Stickers that come apart when you peel them off and leave paper/adhesive residue behind that you have to try to scrape off. Especially when they slap one of those bad boys into the middle of my brand new non-stick cooking pan. Why? Just why? Long drugstore receipts. Ever notice how the majority of long receipts, unless you bought a lot of stuff, are just marketing and other shit? What a waste. Strings coming out of clothing, and when you pull it you get a massive hole in your clothes. My dad would use a sewing needle to get a piece of white thread still on the spool onto the outside of his dark jacket. He would keep the spool hidden in a pocket. When people would attempt to pick the little piece of white thread off his jacket, they would get a never-ending piece of thread. My dad would get a good laugh out of this. Child-proof caps on arthritis medication. If it's the standard orange pill bottle with white cap, you can flip the cap over and it simply twists in with threads for exactly this purpose. Here's a Reddit thread about it with photo examples. It says Walgreens, but I've had it work with nearly all bottles from various pharmacies. The ducking plastic packaging that is impossible to RIP open and hurts you when you cut IT with scissors. Blister packaging. Duck that shit. Bus schedules. You think they'll actually come at that time? No. No. No, you poor simple fool. They'll either show up 3 minutes before that time or 10 minutes after that time. That listed time is meaningless to them. Also, at least here in Montreal, after 30 minutes of wait, 3 buses for same route will come nose to ass. If you are a commuter watching them in desperation from the across the road, waiting for signal to turn walking, they will all leave. Last 2 of them empty. And now you will wait for another 30 minutes. 1-ply ducking toilet paper. Who TF invented that shit? Some cheap duck. Obviously. Cursing everyone going forward to shit stains on their hands when the toilet paper rips. When I just want to read a recipe and then I have to scroll through a long diatribe of the soft winds that blew off the Mediterranean while in my cabana on vacation, providing the inspiration for this olive tapenade recipe. Seriously, I just want to try a new recipe. The best prose I ever read was for a cherry pie. It said, don't worry if the pie looks messy. Crusts are flaky and can be hard to roll out. And a well-filled one bubbles over when baked. Pies are for eating, not photography. It was a great pie. Edit. Recipe, no link. But I wrote it down so it wouldn't disappear. The prose came after the recipe. Crust. 2C flour 1T salt 2/3C plus 2T lard 1/4C ice cold water. Mix flour and salt. Cut in lard. Add ice water by tablespoons until sticky ball forms. Divide 2/3 by 1/3. Roll out large portion on floured wax paper. Put in 9-inch pie pan. Add cherry filling. Roll out smaller portion. Place and seal over filling. Cut in vents. Sprinkle with sugar. Bake pie at 425 F for 10 minutes. Reduce heat to 350 F and bake 30 minutes. Or until crust is lightly browned and filling is bubbly. Filling. 4C tart cherries. Drained 1C sugar 1/8T salt 1T cornstarch or 2T flour. Mix sugar, salt, and cornstarch or flour. Stir over cherries until mixed. Pour in prepared pie pan. Bake as directed. Pop-ups. Duck, I hate them. Get a proper content blocker. Ads are optional. Scam phone calls. I still don't understand how people fall for those things. Guy with a thick foreign accent calls me using a local number to ask for my credit card info? Sounds legit to me. The DMV Department of Public Safety. Let me just mail my shit, and why do I need to take time off work to stand in line for 2 hours? Makes me miss Arizona, where you show up with basically only a pulse and 30 minutes later you get a license that expires when you're 65. My local DMV is only open twice a month. Every second and fourth Thursday. Imagine the lines. Imagine the angry people who had to take off work. Ticks, the blood-sucking ones. That puddle of water that you accidentally step on while wearing socks. That puddle of dog pee that you accidentally step on while wearing socks. I live alone with my dogs, so this is always a pleasant surprise. Traffic lights on roundabouts. This exists. The whole point of roundabouts is to get rid of traffic lights. The 500 people saying mosquitoes rather than just upvoting the first guy that said it. CVS receipts. If I wanted the Magna Carta of shitty offers for shit I don't want and don't need, CVS, I would have let you know. 3 yards of paperwork. All I bought was a bloody soda. Period cramps. The only good thing about being over 50 is saying goodbye to that shit. In high school I had to go home every month because I'd throw up from the pain. Rolling coal. For everyone who is too lazy to look it up, here's a quote from Wikipedia. Rolling coal is the practice of modifying a diesel engine to increase the amount of fuel entering the engine in order to emit large amounts of black or grey sooty exhaust fumes into the air. Definitely claw machines. That's because they can be set to allow as many or, more likely, how few times you can win. It has nothing to do with skill. Ads when you try to watch, play, or be on any website. IT makes you want to throw your device out the window. Everything annoying on airplanes. Baggage fees. Cramped seating. All that is designed to be just uncomfortable enough to get you to seriously consider buying first class tickets on your next trip. They are normalizing being treated like animals, so you can justify them charging you to be treated with decency. Reclining seats on airplanes. Does absolutely nothing for the person who reclined and totally ducks the person behind them. Glitter. It may be a fun way to add some flashiness to the moment, but have fun spending the next 8 years pulling it out of your hair and carpet. Glitter is the herpes of craft supplies. The DMV and the clerk of court. I firmly believe it's our government's way of punishing us for shit they know we're doing, but can't catch us. Like illegal downloading and smoking weed. Petty crimes. There's no reason that I shouldn't be able to do everything I need to do online. When I got divorced, visiting the clerk's office was so pointless. They stamped a paper and gave me a court date. And this was after I had to go to the courthouse and pay for them to print out the paperwork. Why can't I download it and print it out myself? I also had a traffic ticket that for some reason couldn't be paid online, so I had to go to the clerk's office. My so recently spent about 4 hours at the DMV on his birthday to renew his license because you can only do it so many times online. I could go on 4 hours about this. Those sharpeners that break the tip of your pencil every time you use it. Man, do they piss me off. Wasps. I have 5 hives outside my front door. They are chill enough to let me pet them sometimes. I think it has been 10 years of close contact being around their offspring that makes them chill. They just don't see me as a threat. And as long as they don't duck with me, I won't nuke their whole world. Edit. When I got home, one of the bigger nests was in full swarm. I was concerned for a minute, but walked through the cloud of those duckers and none of them even touched me. Apple's repair policy. Homework and over the break projects. Homework was invented as a punishment. No. Seriously. Look it up. It actually was. The autocorrect feature on phones that changes ducking to ducking. Cockroaches. Fleas. And mosquitoes. Perforations in boxes and paper that never tear where they're supposed to. Oh, and that ducking metal shit over wine bottles. Mosquitoes. Can someone please tell me what they add to the ecosystem that can't be fulfilled by any other insect? I think I read somewhere that some birds near Antarctica eat mostly mosquitoes when they migrate. Reddit. We are the kings of getting worked up about nothing. And queens. How dare you leave them out? Those image galleries where you have to fight to get to the next image. Like, come on, I want to see this bride read the groom's affair texts. Westboro Baptist Church. They don't actually believe anything they say or put on posters. The core group is a family of lawyers. They intentionally antagonize to incite violence, with the hope that they can sue to generate income. In Wikipedia, old Link Phelps chartered law firm. For example, they sued the city of Topeka several times in the 1990s. WBC received $16,500 and is pursuing another $100,000 in legal fees for a case won in court. Ads. Especially on those websites where there is literally more ads than the actual website. Hyperbolic headlines. All the inflammatory articles that start with a repugnant premise that I think is going to have some horrific news or revelation, and it concludes with the didactic musings of the journalist. Give me the salient facts. I don't need your opinion on Diane Abbott's liability. No matter how eloquent they are. Anyone with adequate reading comprehension can detect allusions to political persuasions. The DMV. The obsession with bureaucracy, documentation, and paperwork in digital age is purely designed to keep people angry. The option to kill Paarthurnax in Skyrim. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can watch together.